Behold, behold, said the angel to Mary and to Joseph, and behold is our theme for today. So I shared with you guys that getting ready for Christmas, one of the first things that we do in decorating is to get out our nativity set. And that is often what most of us do, right? To get ready for Christmas, we begin to decorate. And decorating kind of then sets the tone, right, for the Christmas season, right? We start feeling like it's Christmas when the lights go up or the trees go up or, you know, whatever it is, or those first things that we do. And so often, as we're getting ready, though, Christmas decorations don't look the same, do they? So I want to give you a glance of what Christmas kind of looks like around the Klein house as we begin to get our decorations out. That's what our Christmas kind of looks like. They always look different. See, some of you guys might have these kind of themes, right? You might decorate with a country kind of theme. Or some of you might have the fancy blown glass, right? The fancy blown glass. Or maybe it's just the sprinkly balls, or it's whatever you want to do. Or maybe it's just kind of a combination of all of it. And again, that's kind of what it's like at the Klein's house, is this combination of things, because each and every one of the ornaments, I mean, gosh, Rusty worked for Hallmark. So, well, we have Christmas decorations, and we have a lot of Christmas ornaments. But each one of them have a story. And each one of them have meaning for us. And so we've got this eclectic group of decorations, including some that may or may not be on your tree. That's why I have the little horses over there on the left-hand bottom side, right? Those are called Nordic Dala, all right? They're from Sweden. And then I also have the Taiwanese lantern over on the other side, because Christmas from different cultures and from around the world look different too. But they're all celebrating the same thing. So the Dala and the lantern are now part of our family tradition and the decorating of our house, because our foreign exchange students, who are now our kiddos, brought those traditions into our family. And so we kind of have that eclectic mix of things that go on for us as we get ready for Christmas. Christmas has a look, all right? Christmas has a look. And the first message of Christmas is just that. It is to look. Or rather, scripturally speaking, Christmas has a look that invites us to behold. The angel said to Mary, "And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus." To behold, all right? It starts with a look, but it's a whole lot more than just a look. It invites us to glance in a deeper way, to ponder, to reflect, to consider all the wonders of God, to look for the something new that God promises in that which is. And guess what that is called? Hope. To have hope of what God is doing for the future in the now. To behold means to look. It begins with looking. But it doesn't end there. In fact, the Christmas story begins, right, with beholding, and it's just the start of the rest of the story. Just like Rusty and I, right? We just started with talking about Mary and Joseph, but that's just the start of the rest of the story. It's Advent and Christmas season, so we are invited to look, to behold, and maybe experience this season as we never have before. This year we're invited to adjust our focus, right? To let the Holy Spirit take that which is consuming our thoughts, right? Our actions, and to realign them with this story of Christ's birth, of God's salvific plan through an infant, right? Through an infant, who through his life and death and resurrection promised us life everlasting. That's what this season is about. It's a theme for us this year. Our 2020 theme for Advent and Christmas is to behold. And I pray that this theme, right, this story that will unfold one week after the next, will then inspire us. It'll inspire our hearts to begin to beat, to sync with the holy rhythm of Christ's coming, that we might experience Emmanuel, God with us, that we might experience the Word that became flesh and dwelt among us. From manger to cross to empty tomb, we might behold the glory of God.
Amen.
The hymn, Joy to the World, is one of my favorites, and one I like most about, the whole song is fantastic, but there's this line in it that goes, joy to the world, the Lord has come, let earth receive her King, let every heart prepare him room, let her nature sing. Advent, these 4 weeks that lead up to Christmas Day, is the time of which our heart, right, begins to be prepared in order to make room, It's a time for us to prepare, but also to experience God's grace through Jesus, just as the first witnesses of Christmas did. So that we can, in our preparing, be like Mary, who ponders and reflects these things in her heart. Or maybe it's like the shepherds, and we know the story, the shepherds, right, who go and see the baby who was born in a manger, and then they go and tell of God's wonders. That we might be prepared like the Magi as well, who seek and find and worship and glorify. Maybe it's even like Simeon. If you remember who Simeon is in the story, he's the elder man who has been promised that he will, before he dies, see the Messiah, the Emmanuel, which means God with us. And he does. And he does. If we can not just simply look, but we can go to the level of beholding the wonders of God that are going around us in this year, I promise it will be a game changer for us. It's going to be a season shifter for us, that we might look beyond all the circumstances that are so trying to pull us away. The good news and the great joy. That we will find hope and joy and faith and peace and Christ's love this holiday season, which really is what our life is all about. I'd like to close this morning sharing with you a blessing from the Apostle Paul that comes from Ephesians 3:14 through 21. When I pause and behold these things, I fall on my knees and pray to the Father, of all the great family of God, some of them already in heaven, and some of them down on earth, that out of God's glorious, unlimited resources, we will be blessed with the mighty inner strength of the Holy Spirit. And I pray that Christ will be more and more at home in our hearts, living within you as you trust in God. May your roots go deep, and may they go down deep into the soil of God's marvelous love, and may you be able to feel and understand, as all God's children should, how wide, how long, how deep, and how high God's love really is, and to experience this love for yourselves. Though it is so great that you will never see it, the end of it, or fully know or understand it, it will be with you always. And so at last, you will be filled up with God himself. Now glory be to God, who by his mighty power at work within us is able to do far more than we ever dare to ask, or even dream of. Infinitely beyond our highest prayers, desires, thoughts, or hopes. May God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, be given the glory forever and ever because of his marvelous plan of salvation. Behold,